Well, judging by the 24-hour news cycle, it's pretty slow going on the weekend, especially on a Sunday, when several news stories are being regurgitated over and over. So, of course, those of us paying attention have probably heard of the fact that the commander of American forces in the Middle East, of all American forces in the Middle East, Admiral Fallon, just resigned last Friday. He resigned his position at CENTCOM, and from what I understand, he did not just resign his position at CENTCOM, but he has actually resigned his commission, period. And so he is retiring from the military, and he has been an outspoken person from time to time against the administration's policy, particularly the aggressive stance against Iran and so on. And so he had to resign because the White House probably wanted him out. And so hopefully we will hear from Admiral Fallon at some later point in time when he can speak more freely about what is going on, which it doesn't bode well, because for somebody like him to resign, being against the aggressive stances towards Iran and their nuclear weapons development, is probably he was probably trying to head some things off, and my gut feeling is that he's opting out because he doesn't want to be involved in it. So we shall look further to Admiral Fallon's viewpoints once he's no longer committed to the system as a whole. Another development which most people may not have heard about is it comes from the U.S. State Department, their own website, and I will read this to you verbatim because it was not exactly big news here in the United States, but probably our ears should perk up a little bit, because it just points towards even more ominous developments, other than where our economy is headed, our healthcare is headed, and everything else. But here is their official release from their website, and it might be of some interest to you because it will bring up a very familiar name. The Department of State is pleased to announce, this was released on January 24th, 2008, so approximately 2 weeks ago. The Department of State is pleased to announce the appointment of Dr. Paul Wolfowitz as the chairman of the Secretary of State's International Security Advisory Board, the acronym being ISAB. Dr. Wolfowitz is currently a visiting scholar in foreign and defense policy studies at the American Enterprise Institute, where he studies development issues. He has spent more than a decade, or 3 decades, in public service and higher education. Most recently, he served as president of the World Bank, and we can all remember that little scandal when he tried to do some favors for his girlfriend over there by promoting her in her position at the World Bank, after which he had to resign. And he also served as Deputy Secretary of Defense. Prior to that, he was Dean and Professor of International Relations at the Paul Nitze School of Advanced International Studies, Johns Hopkins University, Other previous positions include Undersecretary of Defense for Policy from 1989 to 1993, U.S. Ambassador to Indonesia 1986 to 1989, when some of the worst human rights atrocities, by the way, were taking place in East Timor, at the top of Indonesia, which is basically a vast island nation, the most populous Muslim nation on the planet, in case you'd like to look that up. And also Assistant Secretary of State for East Asia and Pacific Affairs, and on and on. The ISAB, the Department of State, with a source of independent insight, advice, and innovation on all aspects of arms control, disarmament, non-proliferation, political military issues, and international security related aspects of public diplomacy. Now, this is Paul Wolfowitz, as we all know, was one of the prime architects of the war against Iraq. And so presumably he is now pushing for another war, this time towards Iran. So that was just my little news bit for today, in case you hadn't heard about it. I don't even know what to say anymore. And people are not being informed. Everyone is paying attention to these election ploys here in the United States. Very little policy difference between any of the front-running candidates and so on. So anyway, just wanted to let you know. Thanks.